Okay, it's time to go. Not going to need this now because just not going to need it for right now. We'll install it later, and I have IDE drives aplenty right here, so we'll put one of those in, if not even two. Well, it only has one Molex, so probably just the one. And IDE is fine, you know. I mean, for how often I rip a disc, it can be slower because it's almost never. I'll disconnect that soon, but I do need a SATA cable, which is this kind, and that's going to go into one of those ports, SATA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so the top one. So that is going to go and plug in over here. That was a weird fit, but it's in. And now I'll get the drive. Yeah, I guess I could disconnect this for now, just so the cable will reach. I'm going to need two hands. I have the flash drive plugged in, a Western Defective 160. We'll turn it on and hit the power button. It's inconvenient, to say the least. This drive might have an OS on it. I don't know. I should really disconnect the flash drive. I don't even know if that has an OS on it or not. Guess we'll find out. One mouse, one storage device. It found the drive. Okay, it has certainly an OS on it. And I have to try to make it boot USB if, again, that has a USB, a bootable thingamajobber. No, ain't gonna boot, so let me fart around and see if I can make it boot. I'll hit delete and get in there. Well, it took a little time to get this configured properly to boot off of USB. Everything in here is good. Obviously, if you go over to boot device priority, it's set to removable device. Everything is good. Everything is good. But you had to go to hard disk drives and set the first drive to USB and the second drive to the hard drive in order for it to even think about trying to boot USB. So we're going to do that, and we're going to install Windows 7 Home Premium 64-bit, and you will see in just a moment that this is different from some of the other totally legitimate copies of Windows 7 that I've installed. I haven't really played around with this version much, so we'll see if it's going to work for us. Take a look at this. What? That looks like Windows 8 or Windows 10. Ooh, what happened? Well, it is really Windows 7, which you'll see as soon as it boots in. Yep, it's Windows 7 with a Windows 8 looking background kind of thing with that blue that they had going on. We'll install now. Even has the font that they used. Now, I'm not exactly sure, this is kind of unclear, but I think we're going to do the OEM activated version type thing here. So we're going to go down to Home Premium X64 OEM activated and hit next. And we have to accept that. We're going to do a custom, and we're going to delete that partition. Yes, I am doing this all with the keyboard. And now I think we can hit next. And I think we're underway. That's it. So I will come back once we get into Windows. Okay, I've left this installing for about 10 minutes or so now. It's already at 75%, but take a look. That fan is still barely moving. That means this is going to make for a nice, quiet machine, and the fan will kick into high gear when it needs to under load, which is fine. If it's rendering video, it can be loud. It's supposed to. It has to get rid of the heat. but otherwise, I mean, this thing is running pretty cool as a cucumber. Just installing the OS, which, you know, some other machines I have don't do that. So, once again, we'll be back when this is ready to roll. Alright, it's been installed. Still barely turning over. We'll go through the out-of-box experience. I don't know what name to give this machine. Oh, no, that was an idiot move on my part. Actually, it didn't. That was really odd. Because it booted back off the damn USB. So we'll shut it down again. And I'll unplug the... Well, no, actually, maybe we'll go in the BIOS and reconfigure it to now boot off the hard drive. And leave the drive connected and see what happens. I was never fond of Asus machines, and I know this is an AMI BIOS, but just the stupid things that they did. You know, I mean, they're not horrible machines when they work. They're actually decent enough, but really. So we'll set that to there, and then save and exit. And now see if it's going to boot off of the hard drive. Or if I have to yet remove the flash drive anyways, and then have it boot, and then plug it back in. And right now we'll see. There we go. That looks like Windows 7. Now, will it boot? Flag comes together. The flag is breathing. Oh, this even has a hard drive light. Something the other rig doesn't. That's quite handy. I like that. They've gotten rid of such innocuous things like a hard drive activity light. I know it's not showing you anything nowadays, and it used to be a lot more useful when you could actually watch it do stuff. You know, like in the old days of the IBM XT and that, or the AT, and really anything pre-Windows, you could hear and watch the light flicker on the drive as it read stuff. And the things it was doing meant things. Like if it would just flicker very quickly, it was likely seeking or reading sectors slowly one after the next. You could hear it seek. They were nothing more than fast floppy drives, really. So that was back in the day when computers were fun. And then in the older days of Windows, you know, 3.1 and even 95 to an extent, you would get drives that were so noisy, you didn't even need the indicator light. You would just know. Okay, so it's not quite done yet, but no problem. No harm, no foul. It's actually working this time. So I'm going to go find some drivers for this thing and see if there are any Windows 7 drivers, and we'll see what this thing actually has on board. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. It even says Asus, so we're probably off to a good start. Default. And computer name, let's test, because I'm not keeping that drive in here. I'm going to put a different, smaller, slower drive, probably. Have to see what I have. Passwords, fuck that shit. And we are in the Eastern time zone. Oh, it saw the wireless already. So, why not? And in a moment, we'll be able to get into Windows. It's connecting. And this doesn't even have antennas. Yet it's showing full signal. Of course, I mean, the router is right here, but... And we're going to skip that and let it do its thing. Oh, this looks important. Yeah, not sure. I vaguely seem to remember using this before, but I haven't at home. I don't think ever yet. So anyway, we'll let this do its thing. Oh, I think the reason that for the most part I never use this is the booter for it, being that it's like a Windows 8 or 10 looking thing. I think the booter is 64-bit, and it won't even boot on a 32-bit machine. Of course, that's not even a problem with this thing because it's 64-bit, and it needs to be for editing. So I don't know how long this takes, so I will come back when it's done. Wait, what? What? Oh, this has all kinds of crap built in. No. We don't want any of that. The mouse is working a little wonky because it doesn't like working on the freezer. It installed Windows malicious software and some other crap that went away. Ooh, yeah, that's a little bit ghetto. Little bit ghetto. Resolution is a bit odd because that circle should be kind of not an oval for a 4:3 screen. So I don't know how long this step is going to take. Oh, there we are. Okay. Now, gotta put the mouse up here. There we are. Just to see, first, screen resolution is that, and I can't go any higher because that's all this monitor supports, and or the driver for that isn't installed. So let's see over here for a minute. ASUS, it's all there. It's not activated? What the shit? Maybe after a reboot. If not, I have the other copy of Windows. This is only a test, this one. Just to see. Oh, hey, we got a shot at it. Before I do that, let's see. It's got video there. It's all there. So we'll just browse. Browse. Let's see. Computer. That one. No, let me browse again because there's more stuff on there. Oh, the AC is peeing. I don't know if you can hear that. Let's see if it finds a driver for the unknown device. Oh, it found something. ATK 0110 ACPI utility. Hoorays. Okay, I'll reboot just to be on the safe side and see if it is automatically activated, and then I will run the Windows Experience Index and see what we get.